conversations about the latest and the greatest in the world. We can talk about that man, or you can tell me about old girl. Got a secret, hey, don't lay it on me. You need a friend, I'll be your big homie. Let's take a sip and talk it out. Therapy without the couch. On the rocks is what you need. Come toast reality with me. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda. Rhonda. You are now tuned in to Rhonda on the Rocks.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Rhonda on the Rocks podcast. I, like true fashion, am still having technical difficulties. So if it looks a little funny in the beginning, that's why. But happy Thursday. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm actually in a different location today. This is actually the house that I grew up in, also known as my parents' house currently. So, if you see the background, it's a little different, but it's the same old 76, like my grandma be saying. It's the same old 76, same old show. I'm actually not available to record an episode on Saturday, so y'all get me on Thursday because I'm committed. And for the sake of consistency, I'm just making sure that I get this episode out to you. So yeah, happy Thursday. I am streaming on YouTube and on Facebook today, giving Facebook a little love. But I normally don't like to stream on Facebook because Facebook has so many rules. And because I monetize on Facebook now, I don't want to get kicked out of the monetization program based on something that I might say that Facebook deems unsavory or whatever. So yeah, but Facebook is getting a little bit of love today. So shout out to all the rock stars on Facebook, and shout out to all the rock stars who are subscribed on YouTube. I'm almost to 300 YouTube subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead over to YouTube and search Rhonda on the Rocks. You'll see my beautiful face, probably a little bit more full because those pictures are old, but go ahead and click that subscribe. Same with Facebook. If you are following me on Facebook, I appreciate you, but if you are not, please follow me. I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers on Facebook, and I'm about 3,000, maybe like 2.3 thousand followers away from having 10,000 followers on Facebook. So also follow me on Instagram, follow the podcast. It's on Apple, it's on Spotify. I need y'all to listen. I need y'all to subscribe. I need y'all to follow, like, share, all of the things, because there's some big things that I'm trying to do, but it's going to take you to help me to be able to do that. All right. So that's the business. We had to get the business out the way before we get to the bullshit, to the foolery. So the business is out the way. Next up, Rhonda on the Run. Rhonda on the Run challenge is starting up next Wednesday, April 1st. Shout out to the people who have already joined. There are some posts that I've made on Instagram, Facebook, where you can click a link and join us on the Step Up app. There's an app called Step Up, and it's a link that you can click and you can join the Rhonda on the Run group, and we can see like who's doing what. Again, it's not really about the competition of it all. It's about the accountability of it all and just making sure that we are up and moving our bodies from April 1st to April 30th and beyond. Summer is coming up, and baby, body gotta be tea. Body gotta be tea this summer. So, and also we just want a healthier heart. We want, our blood to be flowing better, for all of the things health-wise to be happening. So let's make sure that we are doing that. And I did Rhonda on the Run last year, and a good friend of mine, hey Latamia, a good friend of mine reached out to me recently and was like, man, thank you for that challenge last year. Because of you, I've been consistently moving and I've lost 50 pounds. That's a lot. 50 pounds? Yeah. So we ran it back. I ran it back for this year. It is called Rhonda on the Run, but y'all know me. I do not run. I'm not running for. I didn't run for office for the student council when I was in high school. I'm not someone who would be caught running. Hey, Quentin. Yeah, I'm not someone that would be caught running for anything. But yes, please walk your neighborhood, walk the mall, walk your dog, walk that nigga out your house, like whatever you got to do to get those feet moving, do that and join the Rhonda on the Run challenge. Again, it officially begins next Wednesday, April 1st, but 13 people have already joined the group. So if you are interested, please do that. I'll also drop the link in the show notes and post it again on my social medias. All right, so join Rhonda on the Run. All right, let's get into the show. Okay. So the first segment, as usual, is the weekend rundown. This upcoming weekend, I talked about this a little bit last week. Really excited to spend some time with my brothers this weekend. We're traveling and meeting up in a location to see one another. So I'm really excited about that. What I'm not excited about is these TSA lines. I live in Chicago and I'm actually flying out of the biggest airport in Chicago, the international airport here, O'Hare, which, Chicagoans, we don't really fuck with O'Hare like that. If we don't have to, we don't. But because of how the flights were set up, I had to fly out of O'Hare. So I plan to get to the airport about 4 hours early just to make sure that I don't have any issues. I am trying to think of something nice that I can do for the TSA agents that I encounter as I go through, because I know that these people are struggling. And it's actually very sad, very sad to know that these people are still coming to work every day and aren't getting paid. Like, I don't know about y'all, but if the school district that I worked for decided that they weren't going to pay me, I don't know what y'all going to do with them kids, because she, me, her, I'm not coming. I'm not going to be there. And so I'm grateful for all of the TSA agents that are just kind of pushing through and still showing up, even though they are not getting their paycheck every 1st and 15th or bi-weekly, however they get paid. And so I'm trying to think of something really nice that I can do for them. If y'all have any ideas, if you are a TSA agent and you're like, this is something that would really be helpful, please send me a DM or say it in the comments. Let me know so that I can try to organize that and get something together for those agents, because they do deserve to be paid. They do deserve to get their earnings, right? You showing up to work every day, you're earning money that you're not getting. And so I just want to do something nice for them as I travel both to and fro. So that is the weekend rundown. I'm really excited to have been on spring break this week, been able to get some rest, been able to take care of myself. I've had some doctor's appointments, been able to get some blood work done, like all of the things that I can't do during the normal school year, because most doctor's offices don't have appointments at 5 and 5:30 in the evening, right? Like, it's very rare that you're able to see your primary care physician that late in the evening. So that means that you got to take a half day or take 2 hours off or take the full day off in order to take care of yourself. And so while I've been on spring break, I've been adulting. Like, I had to get tags for my car, which was super expensive. Physical therapy, because I'm still going to physical therapy for my back for the car accident. And so I've just been able to adult this week. But more importantly, there is a organization in Chicago called the Desire Company. And what they do is they seek out experts, so people who are experts in things, and they link them with brands to do brand deals. And so I prophetically spoke for 100 some odd days last year that I was going to keep posting and be consistent until I got a brand deal to take my friends to Cabo. And that is still the goal. I have not forgotten. I have not posted and talked about it every single day, but it is still very much here in my heart. And so I got invited to a office hours and happy hour with the Desire Company yesterday here in Chicago. And it was amazing. Like, I got to see the set and see where they record some of the commercials and the content. I got to hear about some of these big name companies that they have partnerships with. I got to like meet other creators who have actually done the brand deals. And so it's just, my heart is so full because I got to have that experience yesterday. And I know I am reminded that God has not forgotten about me and the things that I desire in terms of my podcast and my content creation journey are still on God's mind. And so shout out to the Desire Company. Thank you for allowing me to come into the space. They helped me with like my profile and like making sure that all of the keywords that brands are looking for are there. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to what is next for me. I'm an expert in education. You can't tell me nothing about education. I've been doing it for 20 years. I'm an expert in weight loss surgery because I've had it. I'm an expert in podcasting because I got one. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Hey, Bree. So that's where I'm at, the Desire Company. That was a really, really great experience. And I'm really looking forward to doing more work with them in the future. So shout out to the Desire Company. Much love to y'all. All right, let's move into the next portion of this show today. I'm not really going to break it up into segments. There's just some things that I got to get off my chest. So if we're going to name this segment, we're going to call it Rhonda on a Roll. Okay? R-H-O-O. I'm sorry, R-H-O-L-L. Not, yeah, I can spell. Rhonda on a Roll. Roll with an H because Rocks got an H, Roll got an H. That's how we doing it. Okay? All right. So first on my list of things that I'm going to rant about is how y'all tried to play in my boy Kevon Stage's face. First of all, I am so disappointed. Hey, Snoopy. I'm so disappointed and disgusted in how the church has behaved when it came to Kevon Stage. Now, I've been in church all my life. I love church. I love God. I believe in church. I believe in Jesus. Like this is not news to nobody listening to this. But what I also know is that the church is constantly embarrassing us who are trying to be believers. The church is constantly putting us in position to where we can't defend the church. So, as y'all know, Kevon Stage is a comedian, and he's talked a lot about his background in growing up in church. He was a youth pastor. He still talks a great deal about his faith. He did a whole comedy tour called the Back Pew Tour in churches. Okay, so we know who Kevon Stage is. He doesn't hide that. He's not someone who speaks very vulgar. He doesn't curse. He does clean comedy, but he does not do Christian comedy. Okay, he is not a Christian comedian, and he will say that. And so there was a post that came out by this Christian Instagram page. I can't even remember the name of it, but I'm sure y'all can find it if you just search Kevon Stage on Instagram. And basically they were saying like, y'all shouldn't be listening to him. Don't let him fool you. He doesn't know the word of God. And all of this is stemming from Kevon Stage talking about how, despite what most Christians believe should be the case, he loves gay people. He loves people who are don't live necessarily by what the standard Christian is, right? And he talked particularly about gay people. And he was dragged by all of these like Christian social media sites and all of this stuff. And I just want to come to say today, fuck y'all. Simple as that. Like, Kev on Stage is probably one of the most genuine people and has been very consistent over the years. Like, I follow Kev on Stage very closely because I genuinely love what he does. I think he is incredibly funny, but he also looks out for his people, right? He very openly loves his wife, very openly loves his children, and very openly loves God. But he's also very open about what he was raised to believe that he no longer believes. And so it's funny to me how sometimes the church can cause more harm than good, right? Like, we are supposed to be drawing others in with loving kindness. We are supposed to be exemplifying the love of Christ everywhere that we go. But every so often, here comes this tangled web where we are disrespecting someone and downplaying someone because they openly talk about how they love gay people. And I just don't understand how in 2026, this is still an issue. It should not be an issue in 2026. And for people to have something negative to say about Kev on Stage because of that is bananas to me. Also, like, I probably would fight somebody over Kev on Stage. And I love Kev on Stage, and it's not like a romantic, like, oh, he's so sick. It's not that. I love genuine people. And each time that I've met him, he's been super genuine. He just comes across as a very genuine person. He's always looking out for other comedians, people who are trying to do what he's doing. He's always looking out for them and putting them on and like exposing them to the world. And that takes a genuine person to do. So all of these Christian platforms and all of this stuff that have something negative to say about Kev on Stage, y'all dead ass wrong. And y'all are putting more hate into the world than love. And you're wrong for that. You're wrong for that. You are wrong for that. The Bible says, with loving kindness have I drawn thee. That's not loving kindness. That's not loving kindness. If everybody is not feeling welcome, if you picking and choosing, oh, only the people who behave like this and only the people who do this and only the people who talk like this are good enough to be Christians or are good enough to be around me, or these are the only people that God loves. You don't know your Bible. You don't know your Bible. Who did Jesus hang out with? His very homeboys. The people who follow him that he chose to be disciples. They weren't perfect. But those was Jesus' homeboys, right? Like, Jesus was amongst the people who were the sinners. But he also showed them love and kindness, right? And that's what we're called to do. So if you got a problem with Kev on Stage, you got a problem with me, and you can unfollow me, whatever. I do not care. I love Kev on Stage, and you should too, because he's a real one. So shout out to you, Kavon Stitch. You good with me. All right. The next part, or the next thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about, is people planting seeds of doubt. This is, I'm really about to go on a roll with this. Rhonda on a roll. People planting seeds of doubt. When you are trying to do something great, when you are trying to do something different, right? Not trying to do the average thing, not just getting up, going to work with your college degree, getting your paycheck, paying your mortgage, and that's it. Okay? When you're doing something that other people are not brave enough to do, you have people who come in and they plant seeds of doubt in your soil. And if you allow them to, they will water it, they'll bring sunlight to it. And next thing you know, you don't just have seeds of doubt in your soil, you have trees that are beginning to grow. Things are beginning to take root in the soil, in your soil. And the seed planters are never strangers. Never strangers. The people who are planting seeds of doubt are always people that you know, people that you love, people that you are related to, people that you consider friend. And it's really unfortunate because anytime you do something like a podcast, or you try to be a content creator, or you want to be a comedian, or you want to own your own business, it takes a lot of bravery and a lot of guts to do that. And it's a lot of hard work. And I don't think that people like understand how much goes into it. But what they do is they come with their seeds of doubt and they're like, oh, you better be careful doing this. And oh, if I was you, I wouldn't do that. And oh, you gonna quit your job, or oh, you gonna lose your job, or oh, and it's like, if you're not doing anything to encourage me, then leave me alone. These are people who claim to be believers. Pray for me. If you feel like I'm doing something that's going to put me at risk, then your job is to pray for me or to give me positive vibes. Ask the universe to order my steps, whatever it is that you believe. But like coming into someone's pot, into their soil, and bringing your doubt and your fear and your things that you're afraid to do and trying to plant those seeds and let it take root there is not cool. It's not cool. And I think that we need to be more mindful of that. Now, have I been guilty of that? Sure. Right? In the past, I've definitely been like, baby, I can't quit my job because I need these good benefits and I need that good paycheck on the days that paycheck's supposed to come. And I've been one of those people. That's why I can speak to it. I've been a person that's been like, ooh, you sure you want to do that? And maybe not to that person, but I've definitely thought it. I've had friends who have literally quit their jobs and been like, I'm about to take a chance on me. And shout out to them because they're doing amazing now. Amazing. So I just want to put it out there that if you are one of those people who goes and gets your seeds of doubt and tries to plant it in other people's soil so that it can take root, shame on you. Shame on you. And you shouldn't be upset when those people are like, I don't know, I really don't want to deal with you like that. I really don't want to be bothered with you. When we do stuff like this, and I say we because I'm putting myself out there now as a content creator and a podcaster, when we do stuff like this, we're taking a risk. We're taking a risk. This is time consuming. This is money consuming. So come with your seeds of encouragement or don't come at all. And it really is okay. I've talked about plenty of times how the strangers are the people who really go hard for you. The strangers are the people who really are sharing your content and really putting you. It don't be the people that's closest to you. It don't. And I genuinely don't understand why that is, but that's neither here nor there. Maybe I don't need to understand it. But it really be the strangers that be rooting for you. They'll go to bat for you. Shout out to Silk and Dana and Dee. Like, those three people, I didn't know before I met them in 2024. I didn't know them prior to that. But they always, 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 always going hard for Rhonda on the Rocks. And I really appreciate them. And guess what? When I get nervous or when I feel like, ooh, like I don't think I'm doing the right thing, those are the people that I look towards. Those are the people where I'm like, ooh, I need some encouragement. So shout out to the people who are out here taking risks. Shout out to the people who are like, you know what? I'm gonna take a chance on me. Shout out to you. Because that's super hard work. And from my mouth to your ears, it's up. 2026, it's up. Good things, great things are gonna happen for us. So just stay the course. All right. Next on my list is the word or the phrase consistency is key. And so I've talked about how recently my friend Silk, my fan Silk, we went out to dinner when I was out in Atlanta for a work conference. It was my first time meeting her, but we've, connected via social media and phone, etc. And so while we were at dinner, she checked the fuck out of me. My girl was like, you ain't been making no episodes. Like, I shouldn't be surprised when you make an episode. Like, I should expect to see you on a regular basis. And I was like, ooh. So she really checked me about my consistency. And since then, I have been incredibly consistent. Like, I've given y'all an episode every week for the month of March. So shout out to me. But what I'm also learning is consistency is key, not just in podcasting and stuff like that, also in just like life in general. It is so hard to be consistent. But what I've also noticed about myself is that I expect consistency from other people, but I have a very hard time being consistent when it comes to me. Right? Like, I am dating and I expect these men to be consistent. I expect it. I expect them to be consistent with their communication. I expect them to be consistent with how often we go out. I expect them to be consistent with all of that because consistency is key. The guys that I talk to that I'm dating, the ones that are most consistent are the ones that get most attention from me. Those are the ones that I like the most because I hear from them often. I get to see them often. Those are the ones that I'm like, okay, me and you can have a thing going on because you're consistent. But I think it's hard for me to be consistent about myself and the things that I am doing and the things that I am getting into and the things that I want. And so I was talking to Silk the other day and I was telling her like, oh, we doing Rhonda on the Run and da 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 da. And she was like, no, I'm not doing it. And like being herself. And I was like, not you can hold me accountable, but I can't hold you accountable. And she received that very well. Don't get me wrong. She received that very well. But I think consistency has to be paired with accountability. I thrive when I'm held accountable. When I'm not held accountable, I kind of do what I want to do. I'm not as consistent. So I just want to encourage everyone, get you an accountability partner. I don't care what it is that you're doing. If it's exercise, if it's content creation, if it's cleaning up your room, if it's getting rid of old clothes that you don't wear no more, whatever it is, get you an accountability partner. We too old to be like not having an accountability partner. Hey, Dietrich, we too old to not be having an accountability partner. My accountability partner just showed up in these comments. That nigga gonna get on my ass if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And sometimes it be like, okay, like it be stinging a little, but I need that. We have to, we're too old to not be accountable. And if we can't hold ourselves accountable, get you somebody that can. I can't keep saying I want all of these amazing things for Rhonda on the Rocks and I want to take my friends to Cabo and I want to do all of this stuff and I'm not getting on this telephone and giving y'all no content. So consistency is key. Be consistent. Be consistent for other people. If you tell somebody you're going to do something and you're going to show up, be consistent. I've been very consistent in the gym for the last, since August, however many months that is. And baby, body T, you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. I got this hoodie on, y'all can't really see, but body T. Why? Because I've been consistent. We have to be consistent. We have to be consistent. And so if you don't have no accountability partner, get you one, because we definitely need them at this stage in the game. Okay? Consistency is very tough. It's hard. It's hard. Like the days that I go into work, when I come home, I don't have nothing left. And I be thinking of all of this funny shit that I want to say, but I'm like, oh, I got to record it. Then I got to edit it. Then sometimes the edits don't be working right. And it's tough. But the payoff is what we're looking for. When we are consistent, it has no choice but to work out in our favor. It has no choice but to work out in our favor, because that's what comes from consistency. So shout out to those who are consistent and those of us who need an accountability partner. I'm very grateful for my accountability partners. Thank y'all for all that y'all do on a regular basis. Okay? All right, let's get into a little bit of my business now that I've been super serious for the last 32 minutes. Let's get into a little bit of my business. So your girl has been like putting herself out there and really just like shooting my shot. Okay, shooting my shot, Jordan. So I told y'all a while ago I met a guy on Threads. But last Saturday, before the show or after the show, I can't remember. Oh, that's my mom's dog. Come here, mate. Come here. Come here. He hard-headed too. That's my mom's dog, Major. I'm at my mom's house. I'm not at home. So anyway, last Saturday, I was on Threads because Threads is my new favorite social media site. It's like Twitter, but somehow my algorithm on Threads is just black. Like everybody on there black. They talking about black shit. All the memes are black. Everything is blackety black, and I'm obsessed with it. So I'm on Threads just doing my thing, and I literally be putting myself out there. Like, let's hang out. What the niggas? Do I look good enough for the niggas? And so I met this guy on Threads, and we're like talking back and forth. I can't even remember how the conversation started. I should have wrote that down. I can't remember how the conversation started. But anyway, he started following me on Instagram. And so I was DMing him on Instagram. And meanwhile, he's like DMing me on Threads. And so when I go to the Threads, he's like, oh, you're DMing me on Instagram. I'm going to bring the conversation over here to Threads. So me, because I'm that girl, I say, bring it to my inbox. And I sent him my phone number. I just thought that was so smooth. And he did too. He definitely thought it was real smooth. And so I sent him my phone number. We started texting and sending like voice notes back and forth. And so we were vibing. And so I was like, what do you have going on today? And he's like, oh, I'm going to spend some time with my uncle. And then, that's what I'm doing for the evening. And I was like, oh, I was hoping that we could like go get a drink, shooting my shot again. Now, if y'all know me, like I'm a very traditional person, and I always in the past have been like, well, if a guy doesn't approach me, then, I'm not approaching a man and blah, blah, blah. But baby, it's 2026 and your girl got a Draco on her, shooting my shot. Like I got bullets on me. Okay. And I'm going to use them. Not literally. Y'all know what I mean. So anyway, he was like, oh, okay. And so I was like, let me know, like, if you get some availability, like, I'm free after 7 o'clock or whatever I said. And so he's like, he hits me up later. He's like, we can go to this bar in the city between 9 and 9:30. And I'm like, brother, that's late. I was thinking like 6:37. Like, you didn't want to, get an early drink. But I'm like, Rhonda, you asked the man when he was available. He said he was available at that time. You either gonna go or you're not gonna go. Okay. So I get dressed. Of course, I'm sending pictures to my friends of, should I wear this? Should I wear that? Should I wear this? And they're helping me along. And so I get to the spot and it's like super crowded. There's a street in Chicago called Stony Island. Stony Island is just like NASCAR. Like, people drive so fast on Stony, and I have tons of PTSD since my accident. So I'm like getting overwhelmed. I'm getting super anxious because I'm like, people are driving so fast and I just can't like get myself together. So I'm driving around the place trying to find a park because everybody and their mama is at this place. And I started to be like, you know what? I'm probably just gonna go home. I can't do this, but I just kind of calm myself down. So I'm driving around blocks and blocks and blocks away, trying to find a park, but also trying to find a park close enough where I feel comfortable walking up to this bar in the city. So lo and behold, I find a park like right at the end of the street and was really, really grateful for that. So he calls me as I'm driving around and he's like, I'm like, where did you park? He's like, oh, I parked across the street, across Stony Island at the AutoZone. Baby, I'm not, I can't do that. You want me to cross the basically the highway at night? I can't do that. So it's all of these things that are coming up that I'm like, I should have never said nothing to this man. Me just trying to be fast. I'm out here like asking this man to go out, and I shouldn't have because now I'm overwhelmed. But anyway, I end up finding a park, walk up to the place. And when I tell y'all, we vibed out. I had such a good time. I had so many lemon drops. I had so many lemon drops and just had a really, really good time. Just talking to this man, getting to know a lot about him. He's definitely, well, I don't want to say definitely, but he's not someone that I would necessarily see out and be like, oh, okay, like, let me try to, but such a vibe, like a really, really cool person. And guess what? He's consistent. I consistently hear from him every day, all day. He's very intentional, and I like that about him quite a bit. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. We're going to call him Saturday night. Saturday night is all right with me. Now, if you remember a couple weeks ago, I went out on 2 dates that one week, one on Taco Tuesday and one on Friday night. Friday night has kind of just like faded into the abyss. I don't know what happened. I asked yesterday, I reached out to him and I was like, are you always this quiet? And he was like, well, yeah, until I get to know a person. And so I'm like, okay, like, are you trying to get to know me? Like, what's tea? And he's like, well, I didn't ask him that, but I was just like, okay, and how do you get to know a person? And he's like, oh, just by like talking to them and like spending time with them. I don't know, like, if there's like a disconnect with him or with men in general, but like, brother, I gave you the alley oop. What happened? Like, I'm laying it out for you plain, saying like, are we going to talk? Like, are you going to get to know me or what? But it doesn't appear that he's interested. And I am learning that in these situations, I don't need to try to get closure. I don't need to try to, figure out what went wrong or figure out how to push this relationship or this friendship forward. Some shit you just got to let die. You just got to let it die. You just got to let it die. And that's the place that I'm in right now. I think I'm in that place with not just dating and the guys that I'm seeing and things like that, just with people in general. Like I am very much I'll reach out. I'm a plan something. I'm gonna do all of these things. Baby, if you want to see me, you're gonna reach out to me. Consistency is key. And it has to go both ways. And so right. Can we talk for a minute? Like, what's up? And I don't know if something happened because I feel like we went out on a date that week. We talked all week long. We went out on a date that Friday. The following week, which was last week, we talked. It was consistent. I don't know what happened over this past weekend, but it was a little, not as much. And then this week has just been like super dry. And so I'm just like, child, I don't have the time for it. If you're not trying to talk, I will cancel you like they canceling Beyonce Mama's Gumbo. Like, get it the fuck out of here. It's making me sick. It's making me sick. I don't want to be bothered. I'm not in a place to where I'm wanting to force anything. I'm not forcing nothing, not anything. And so Friday night is pretty much out. We'll see if he resurfaces. Taco Tuesday still doing good. We hung out on Monday. We went to happy hour. That was great. And he's different too. He's very, very laid back, but very consistent. Like if he tells me he's going to do something or we're going to hang out or whatever, he does just that. Is he like a long phone talker? No, but he be talking the fuck out of me in person. And I'm a talker, certified yapper. But this man, I'd be like, oh, when you gonna let me talk? When is it gonna be my turn? Because you have monopolized the entire conversation. And he don't be just talking about random stuff. Like it's actually things that I'm interested in, but I never get to like interject and share my opinion or anything. He just kind of goes and goes and goes until he is done and whatever. That's fine. So far we got Taco Tuesday and Saturday night, and we're gonna see who's gonna take the championship. Who's gonna win? We're gonna see. But yeah, I think that me shooting my shot is going to be a regular thing. When I was with the Desire Company yesterday, baby, I was plugging Rhonda on the Rocks like nobody's business. I talked about the podcast. I talked about the brand. I talked about all of the things that I want to do. And it just felt so good. And what's even crazier, I forgot to tell y'all this. What's even crazier was the people who run the company, the people who were looking for the, who go and find the experts, the recruiters, if you will. I've only had like maybe one or two conversations with them via email. So I don't know them and they don't know me. But when I walked in, they were like, oh, Rhonda on the Rocks, the podcast, right? Oh, baby, when I tell you that made my day, I literally was like, how y'all know? And they were like, that's our whole job. It's our job to know who you are. But yeah, they immediately knew me. They knew about the podcast. They were introducing me to other people, talking about the podcast. And I was just like, oh my God, this is exciting. Big things are happening. So y'all stay tuned. I am committed to this consistency. And if I even think I'm going to fall off between Silk and Dana and Dee, I'm going to be right back on the horse. Speaking of horse, it's been a minute. Yeah. Anyway, thank y'all for coming and joining and watching and listening and laughing at another episode of Rhonda on the Rocks podcast. If you are not following me, go ahead and do that now. I am on all social medias at Rhonda on the Rocks. Don't forget the H in Rocks. If you are joining Rhonda on the Run, I will drop that link for you to join the Step Up app. It is also on my Instagram. It is also on my Facebook. Please, please, please join us for the month of April for Rhonda on the Run. Until next time, I love y'all. Thank you for joining. Bye.